Thank you, Chris. Presenting on the retail market, Andy Moffitt, Senior Retail Specialist with Mountain West Commercial. Andy has been in the industry for over 12 years, completing 975 transactions, totaling over $67 million.
Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here. Thank you. First off, I'd like to thank NAIOP for giving me the opportunity to talk about the current retail market. Though I'm the one up front here, what I have to tell you today is very much a Mountain West team effort. Thanks to so many people for all your hard work and effort, specifically the research and graphics teams. My goal today is not so much to give you a full overview of the retail market throughout Utah or the Wasatch Front, as to spend some time highlighting some of the key areas of retail across Utah that have seen significant going up themes or that represent trends I'm planning to focus on over the coming year. So what's going up? Lease rates for Class A retail locations, grocery-anchored centers throughout Utah, retail sales of food and beverage, especially in downtown Salt Lake City, shop local corridors and urban street retail, mall rejuvenation through mixed use and entertainment anchors. Demand for retail real estate may be softening slightly, but total net asking rent is still rising for many properties, particularly Class A retail. A real estate will continue to be in high demand. The retailers and restaurants growing in these markets are competing for the best of the best locations. And the result is that they're willing to pay up for those locations. As Class A retail lease rates rise, especially as this relates to leases with restaurants, it's still very important to consider average unit volumes for those restaurants when negotiating the starting rate. All of the restaurants are playing it careful, and as a result are trying to strike within what they consider a reasonable occupancy cost percentage. If Class A retail is in demand, what will happen to the B and C properties, both those that are doing well and those that are struggling? If a site is sufficiently large, mixed use may be a good option for close-in suburbs. Anchoring a retail center around a grocery chain has historically been a consistent and stable trend in retail and has continued to prove itself for the past several years. Since 2014, there have been a total of 33 new grocery stores along the Wasatch Front and the Wasatch Back. Grocery-anchored centers continue to maintain their strong position throughout 2018. Some recent successful development examples in this highly sought-after category where shop space users, mid-box users, and pad users have benefited include Harmon's at Mountain View Village in Riverton, Smith's Marketplace at the Crossing in Saratoga Springs, Whole Foods Market in Canyon Corners in Kimball Junction, and Harmon's at the Terrace at Traverse Mountain in Lehigh. A new style of grocer has emerged throughout the Wasatch Front, with Harmon's leading the initiative. Based on their immigration market concept located in the Harvard-Yale neighborhood, this new style caters to more of a local feel based on a neighborhood's location in a smaller prototype store, typically ranging from 10,000 to 20,000 square feet, compared to the traditional grocer model that can range from 40 to 70,000 square feet. In February of 2018, Harmon's opened a new full-service, two-level market in Holiday, consisting of 16,500 square feet. Harmon's smaller format store stocked 85% of the products available in the larger locations, albeit in smaller quantities, and provide a convenient, walkable alternative to big box stores. In addition to their new Holiday location, in August of 2018, Harmon's also announced a new 17,000 square foot market at the new North Shore Village Center in Daybreak. Construction is scheduled to begin in 2019 with an anticipated opening in 2020. This new location is part of a broader urban development design in Daybreak, creating vibrant village centers where people want to both live and shop and where businesses want to invest. The always popular upscale boutique grocer from Holiday, The Store, is set to open a new location at the Gateway in 2019. Announced just recently in the fourth quarter of 2018, the new location will have 10,000 square feet and will backfill a space formerly occupied by the fashion and soft good retailer J. Crew. This announcement was a welcome addition to the downtown Salt Lake City grocery scene, as thousands of new units have been built over the past several years, and nearby residents are anxious for additional retail services. Look for this trend to continue, both in established residential neighborhoods and in urban and master plan communities. Downtown Salt Lake City topped $865 million in total retail sales in 2017. That's up over $27 million over the previous year and is a new record for Salt Lake City. There's a largely untold story regarding the downtown restaurant scene and its strong sales performance as Salt Lake City continues its march towards becoming a major metropolitan 24/7 city. Evidence of this fact, as reported in 2017 by the Downtown Alliance in their annual report, downtown Salt Lake City restaurant sales of food and drinks total approximately $388 million and are the largest percentage of total downtown retail sales, outpacing apparel sales, non-apparel sales in department stores, and other retail sales. Of the $388 million, you might ask, how much of that is food and how much is alcohol? The answer is it's tough to guess. You can, however, determine by the type of license the restaurant or bar has what the approximate breakdown could be, as restaurant licensees are required to maintain a ratio of 70% food to 30% alcohol, and the patron must show intent to dine. While bar licensees have no minimum requirement for food sales in order to maintain good standing with the Division of Alcoholic Beverage Control. The $125 million remodel of the Vivint Smart Home Arena is another key indicator of the downtown demand for food and beverage, combined with entertainment. As the arena renovated its food and beverage offerings, reaching outside of the traditional hot dog and nachos menus, and bringing best-in-class local restaurants to add to its lineup of eateries, they significantly bolstered the availability of beer. Now, alongside the traditional soda dispenser, almost every new restaurant in the arena also has a set of beer taps. It is interesting to note, however, that the jazz crowd still largely favors family-friendly offerings, especially ice cream. According to Jim Olson, president of Vivint Arena, most sports arenas serve a lot of beer. We serve a ton of ice cream. Past concerns and problems surrounding liquor issues have improved somewhat over the past several years. Utah made progress in the end of 2017 by passing legislation that removed one of Utah's most recognizable restaurant symbols, the Zion Curtain, although the Zion Moat, or the Zion DMZ, has largely replaced it. Also, it has become easier to interpret current Utah DABC regulations for restaurants with the new, more simple bar or restaurant designation. The "This is a bar" or "This is a restaurant" signs, which used to hang in businesses' front windows and called out the establishment's specific license, are no longer required. These changes made headlines nationally as outsiders took notice of the change relative to Utah's ultra-conservative perception. This led to new investment by several restaurant groups from outside the state who opened or announced their first locations in Utah. Examples such as Carson Kitchen and Skinny Fats from Las Vegas, Dave & Buster's from Dallas, Punch Bowl Social from Denver, and another highly sought-after hamburger chain, Shake Shack, from New York, among others. Just in time for the new year, Utah became the first state in the country to lower the blood alcohol level for drunk driving from 0.08 to 0.05. The recent change has certainly grabbed restaurateurs' attention nationally. Still too soon to know exactly what effect this will have on restaurants and retail sales, it is definitely something to keep an eye on to gauge what kind of impact it has overall. Similar to what has been happening in popular metropolitan cities around the United States, this year has seen the expansion of a thriving, best-of-class street retail shopping area consisting of local boutiques, restaurants, tap and coffee houses, salons, boutique fitness, and other shops that appeal to both local residents and visitors along 900 South in Salt Lake City. This reflects a transition of consumer spending from traditional mall-anchored retailers and tenants to a shopping district that supports and encourages small businesses, notably quite a few of those businesses being owned by women. There are several details to talk about as it relates to the street retail scene that help make the corridor vibrant. First off, the spaces are smaller. Historically, the typical retail storefront weighed in at 1,200 square feet, with an additional 1,200 square feet being added to the base unit as retailers needed more square footage. Conversely, it's not uncommon to see local retail boutiques leasing smaller spaces, as small as 600 square feet. You'll be hard-pressed to find a space suitable for a 7,000 square foot national restaurant. What you will find, however, are some of Utah's top-performing, best-of-state restaurant recipients such as Pago, East Liberty Tap House, and Public Kitchen. Just in time for the 2018 holiday shopping season, the hip and trendy online eyewear retailer Warby Parker opened its first Utah location in the 9th and 9th area, occupying 1,100 square feet. Warby Parker has set a standard the past 5 years by being the first national retailer to enter into these local street retail corridors. Warby Parker chose the 9th and 9th area over more likely suitors, such as Fashion Place and City Creek Mall. Call it a big win for street retail in Utah and will likely open the door for others to follow. Lastly, a major theme that we saw play out over 2018 was a push by the regional malls to reinvent themselves through creative leasing and former mall anchor boxes. Notably, 22% of total square footage leased in 2018 was to entertainment users. That's a 15% increase over the previous year. Here are a few specific examples and case studies of creative leasing and struggling former big box mall vacancies. The Shops at Southtown has leased over 110,000 square feet to new tenants. Much of them are located in the former Dillard's box, which is split on 2 levels. Opening this past year in October, H&M added a new 20,000 square foot store at the mall. The Shops at Southtown also announced a new lease with HomeGoods to take just over 23,000 square feet. Round One Entertainment, a premier multi-entertainment complex offering bowling, arcade games, billiards, and more, leased 50,000 square feet. Lastly, 2 more deals are in the works at Shops at Southtown, with the prospect of a couple of these deals being finalized. The former 200,000 square foot Dillard's box will be completely backfilled. Valley Fair Mall also saw new entertainment leasing activity in 2018. In the former vacant Cinemark movie theater space, along with additional vacant mall square footage, All-Star Lanes announced a new location occupying 75,000 square feet. In the former 90,000 square foot Macy's box, 65,000 square feet was leased to Hobby Lobby. It is promising that during the past 2 years, over 225,000 square feet has been leased at the Gateway. As Chris Kirk mentioned, the Gateway is having a renaissance. Utah's first Punch Bowl Social, a 15,000 square foot entertainment and bar business, which will be ready to open in June of 2019. Punch Bowl Social is truly best of class and is the leader of one of the hottest retail expansion categories in the country. Dave & Buster's, another new tenant to Utah. Dave & Buster's is a family-friendly restaurant and arcade and opened in June of 2018 in 45,000 square feet in a second-level space previously occupied by the Gateway's former food court. As I mentioned, a new 10,000 square foot grocery store named The Store at the Gateway will anchor the west end of downtown Salt Lake City. Additionally, having opened in November of 2018, the new headquarters for Recursion Pharmaceuticals, a 100,000 square foot conversion of a former Dick's Sporting Goods space that includes on-site labs, traditional office, meeting space, and yes, the rock climbing wall is still there. Kiln, an industry-leading technology-focused co-working community featuring shared open office space, opened in November of 2018 in 25,000 square feet in a second-level space that was formerly occupied by the Sky Bar. Utah's first food hall, which will open in 2019 on the south end below the Megaplex Theater, and will be home to Skinny Fat's restaurant, Stemless Beer and Wine Bar, and a variety of other food and beverage establishments. A new 4-star, 8-story boutique hotel converted from the historic Union Pacific Depot that will boast 225 rooms and 26 suites. The new hotel is a joint venture partnership between Vestar and the Athens Group. The Athens Group notably having built several hotels throughout the western United States, including the Montage in Deer Valley, the Montage in Laguna Beach, and the Ritz-Carlton in Half Moon Bay. In summary, Utah has seen a lot of new and exciting changes to the retail market during the past 2 years. Consumer sentiment is expected to remain high in 2019, and with that, we anticipate more changes ahead for the retail and restaurant industries. Expect to see a continued shift towards quality as retailers seek ways to grab consumers' attention, provide unique experiences, and find ways to get people out of the house and off their phones. Thank you.